hello and hello. So today I want to talk about one of my biggest pet peeves, and that is when people tell me how to do my job that don't work for my job. So I've dealt with this over all the years that I've worked. I've experienced it a lot in Party City, and I'm getting it again now here. People that work in retail or own their own retail business that think they know the rules and that they should be able to skirt by policies. The people that own their own business makes it funny because they're the ones who make their rules, so they get to do whatever the frick they want. You know, when you work for a company that has a corporation, you kind of have to follow their rules. It's just how it is. So I had this woman come to me with a pair of shoes that was clearly worn, like worn. They were outside worn, like there was no reselling these. So I explained to her that unfortunately we cannot return these shoes because they have been worn. And our policy is that we do not take back shoes that are worn. And she was like, you can just, and she threw out some like code thing, some like letter, abbreviation, whatever thing. She's like, you can just do this to them. I'm like, no ma'am. I said, if we take back shoes, they've not been worn, so they can be resold. I said, so we're not gonna just, take them back and do whatever. She's like, no, I've worked in retail, you can do this, you can do that. It's not how this works, ma'am. I said, and even if we could damage them out, it's not the point. Our policy is you've worn them, you cannot return them. Yeah, I made her take the shoes back. But I've gotten that a lot in this job with people that think they know how our system works, or they've gotten away, like probably because they've gotten away with everything before, that they just, think they can. But I love that line. Well, no, you just got to do this, or you just got to do that. Bitch, I'm pretty sure I'm on this side of the counter with my name tag on, and you're standing over there. So don't tell me what I can do. I know what I can do and what I can't do, and I'm not doing it. That's kind of my rule about it. I'm not doing it. So one of the things I have realized working here is that before COVID hit, before I started working, the shoe department was run very differently. There were ample amount of people. They had a system. They used the iPods. Like there was a lot of things going on differently. So I understand a lot of people's frustrations now of why they get so angry with us with the way we do things, because they're used to, if they shopped with us for a long time, then they're used to things being differently. But it's like, this is how it is now, and unfortunately that's just kind of the rule. But when people get so sticky about not wanting to do anything for themselves, it's absolutely astounding. So if somebody comes to me with a shoe and we don't have that shoe, I can scan it and find it in all the other malls. And then I can tell them where they could possibly go to get that shoe. Or there's out-of-state stores that it even shows, and if they are a card holder with us, they can then call that store out of state, and the store will ship it to them. So people give me that, well, can you order it and have it shipped here? No, ma'am. If we order it, we ship it to your house. I said, sometimes the shoes don't have the ability to be ordered. We can't, the machine tells us whether or not we can order it for them. But still, it doesn't come to the store, it goes to their house, which if I ordered something, I'd rather have it come to my house and have to go back out to the store to get it, but that's just me. So they get crazy when it comes to stuff like that. So there was a day that, now mind you, I'm usually very good with customers. I have been a manager before. I have dealt with customer service my entire life. I'm usually pretty good at dealing with people. But this day, my life had just blown up and everything was bad. And so I was not in the right headspace to begin with. So let's just preface the story with that. So I go in early because I just didn't want to be home anymore. And none of my staff is there. The woman from another department is behind the register. She looks frazzled. There's people all over the place. and I'm like, oh crap. So I jumped in early to help to start working because there was nobody there. So when you, in this job, if you clock in earlier than you are scheduled, you have to call management to have them unsuspend you because you can't ring otherwise. So as I'm at the register clocking in, there's a woman sitting in the lobby. Now I can hear her like rumbling, kind of, like she was already a little agitated. Like I could hear just the way she was talking to whoever she was with. So as I'm clocking in, I hear, "Do you work here?" And I wanted to be a smart ass, be like, "No, ma'am, I'm just standing behind the register." But I didn't. I was like, "Yes, ma'am." I said, "I'm just clocking in. I'll be with you in one moment." So then I had to call for leadership to unsuspend me, and she was like, "What did you say?" And I turned around and I said, I was just calling the management. I'll be with you in a moment. So I went in the back until I could talk in the headset to talk to the management to get unsuspended. So I go out and I was like, "How can I help you today?" And she hands me 2 shoes. She's like, "I need these in 8. Okay. So I go in the back, and now mind you, they were Michael Kors shoes, and we had just had a sale on Michael Kors shoes, so we didn't have a lot of stock left. So I come back, and we didn't have her 8s. So I come back out, and I explained to her that we did not have them in 8. And she was like, how are you open? She goes, how are you open? You don't have any stock. She's like, you don't have any sizes. She's like, how are you still in business? So I was about to ask if she would like me to scan them before I could even get out the word. She goes, "Scan them and see where else they are." Okay. So I go up front, scan the shoes, both of them. I do printouts for both of them, and I bring them to her. So I bring the slips over to her, and the first shoe that I show her, I said, "There's none of these in the area." I said, "But there are these out-of-state stores. If you're a card holder with us, you can, call them, and they can ship the shoe directly to you." And then she was like, "Well, can't you call them?" "No, ma'am, that's not how it works. Is it you have to call them, you have to place the order with them. They're going to send it to your house. They're not going to send it to us. So you would have to call them and place the order with them." She's like, "But isn't that your job?" So at this point, I can feel myself starting to lose control. I can feel my eyes are starting to tear, and I'm frustrated beyond the point of being able to control myself anymore. So at that point, I said, "You know what, I can't do this." And I put the receipts on the table, and I walked into the back room because I was not going to break down in front of this woman, and 2, I was not going to say something that might have compromised my position. So I walked away, trying to compose myself, and I hear her in the back. "Did she just walk away from me? Did you hear that? She just said she couldn't do this. She walked away from me. How fucking dare her? They're like, I'm gonna beat her ass." Blah, 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 blah. Now she's threatening me. She's standing out there verbally threatening me. So I get out the walkie, and I'm like, I need management up here now. I'm not dealing with this today. So now I'm in the back, completely hysterical. At this point, it's safe. So I break down. I'm like, I'm done. I can't. So the management comes, and she is now trying to rile everybody up. My poor cashier is out there. She wants to yell at this woman, but knows better. So she's just keeping her mouth shut. But this woman's now trying to rile up everybody. And the management comes up, and she's yelling at them, and she's talking the shit to them, and she's just being absolutely ridiculous. So I'm sitting on the stool in the back, and I'm just trying to keep myself calm. And the young man from Finish Line next door comes over, and he was like, "The woman needs a shoe." And I'm like, great. So he goes, "You don't have to go out there, just show me where it is," because he knew what was going on. So I was like, so I went to where the shoe was, I got him the shoe, and he took it out for me, and he was good. So when she was finally gone, after they did whatever they did to take care of her, to get her out of the store, which if it was me, I would have just thrown her out. I'm sorry. I mean, I understand appeasing the customer, but when you're verbally threatening somebody and you're being unruly and disruptive, then it's just time to go. I don't care, customer service, management, whatever, etiquette out the window at that moment. Just, you gotta go. But no, that's not how this works, so fine, whatever. So I go back out afterwards, and the manager comes over to me, and she was like, I am so sorry about that. She was like, this, and that. She was, even the husband, this woman's husband came up to them after and was like, I'm so sorry. Like, it's bad when somebody's acting a fool and the spouse comes over and apologizes on their behalf. So yeah, that was an interesting day. That story spread through the store like wildfire. Like, Jesus Christ. So coming from a town that was, money oriented, people, were more uppity and pretentious. I always dealt with the, you're just a lowly associate and, I'm more important than you. I've dealt with that a lot. But here, it's funny because, people think we work on commission, which we don't anymore. I guess they used to, but we don't anymore. And two, they think you're their personal shopper. Now, I've said that there is not enough staff to be able to help the customers the way we should. Yes, I should have enough people where if I take a shoe to somebody, I stand with them, I talk with them, I help them. If they need another size, if they want a different shoe, I'm one-on-one with this person until they make their purchase. Unfortunately, that can't happen. There is not enough people for that. So they fail to realize that just because I handed them a shoe doesn't mean they can't ask somebody else for a shoe or cash out at a register that I'm not at. So I get a lot of people, usually older people, and they come in and they get their shoes and then they sit there and then they wait for you. So now I've handed you your shoe, I'm now on to the next thing I have to do, the next person I have to cash out, the next shoe I have to get. If there's something in the bag I have to do, like something else has my attention and I'm doing it. But the second I walk by, they're waving shoes at me. And I'm still here. That's my favorite line. I see you're still sitting there. Trust me, I'm trying to avoid you. You won't leave me alone because I have other things to do. And I'm like, there are other people that you can ask. Like, I'm not the only one here. So I had a woman and like 3 of her friends sitting in that lobby for like, I don't know, an hour maybe. And she had gotten a shoe that she wanted a size of a shoe, and I explained to her that it was the floor sample shoe. So I said, wherever you found that first shoe, I said, the other one, the mate to it is there, that's the size that you need. And she's like, I don't know, I got it over there on the table. Fine. You're not gonna get up, obviously. I'm gonna go look for it. So I'm looking for the shoe, I have no idea where the hell she found this shoe. So I brought it back to her and I let her know, I don't know what table you got this shoe off of, but if you remember what table you got it off of, the match should be on that table. So I handed her the one shoe on the box, the size that she needed, and I went on my break, because it was my break time. I'm in the back, and one of my associates comes over to me, and she's like, that woman that you were dealing with is looking for you. I'm like, I'm on a break. She was like, well, she's over there, she's out there, threatening to cuss you out when you come back there because you just left her sitting there. I'm like, great, I've been threatened now twice in 1 week. What the hell is happening out here? I'm like, she came, and I looked at my coworker and I was like, well, she came to you to look for me. I said, she couldn't ask you for the damn shoe? I was like, what are you, chopped liver? I'm like, I'm not the only one here. Like, what the hell? That drives me crazy. Like, I understand, the one-on-one aspect, but if you need something and there's somebody else, ask them. Jeez, people. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy, and until the next episode, you have a fantabulous day. Goodbye, and goodbye.